And I just want to share with you guys, I did this video just to give a summary of how great Bernie did in this debate. And it's not just because he's my favorite candidate, because I think Tulsi did really well as well. I think Yang did pretty good. I think Steyer was actually the third best guy, just because he seems more genuine and actually has some policy to back him up. So I just want us to show a recap so we can talk about Bernie's performance a little bit.
All right, let's watch this video.
The current healthcare system is not only cruel, it is dysfunctional. People have been talking about healthcare for all. Well, you know what? I think now is the time. We spend twice as much as do the people of any other country, and yet we got 87 million uninsured, underinsured. 500,000 people go bankrupt. They come down with cancer, and that's a reason to go bankrupt. I think when you talk about the pain of working families in this country, majority of the American people want to raise the minimum wage to a living wage. So I believe, we got to deal with Trump, but we also have to have an agenda that brings our people together. What are we going to do in decades? We don't have decades. But the scientists are telling us that we don't get our act together within the next 8 or 9 years. We're talking about major cities going underwater. We're talking about increased drought, talking about increased extreme weather disturbances. The United Nations is telling us that in the years to come, there are going to be hundreds of millions of climate refugees. Tell the fossil fuel industry that their short-term profits are not more important than the future of this planet. One of the big differences between the Vice President and myself is he supported the terrible war in Iraq, and I helped lead the opposition against it. I voted against the very first Gulf War as well. But to answer your question, I think it is time, after spending many trillions of dollars on these endless wars, which have resulted in more dislocation and mass migrations and pain in that region, it is time to bring our troops home. And if it's necessary to negotiate with the Taliban, of course, we will do that. We have got to bring Iran and Saudi Arabia together in a room. We must treat the Palestinian people as well with the respect and dignity that they deserve. The political system we have today is corrupt. So what we need to do, simple and straightforward, if you are 18, you have a right to vote. End of discussion.
Okay.
Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi, Cheyenne. So, recap, just because I feel like Bernie hit pretty much every subject, not just domestically, but foreign policy-wise, and I'm really, really critical, and so is Pasta, on foreign policy, and he really impressed me on his foreign policy this time around. It's one of the things that I've been really critical about regarding Bernie, and I thought with the whole Saudi Arabia comment that we need to bring them in the room together, we need to end our wars and bring our troops home, unequivocally, that we need to treat the Palestinian people better. I didn't like his pro-Israel comment, and I've shared that with some of my other friends who didn't like it. But if he said we need to treat the Palestinians equally, and then he went on to discuss the unemployment rate, I felt like he could have gone further on that. But he also talked about talking to the Taliban. He also talked about the climate change. He talked about Medicare for all. He talked about how we don't have time to implement these incrementalist policies. And so he hit pretty much every subject on the head. And it was nice to see that. And he was angry. I mean, that's Bernie in his best, when he's like angry. Angry Bernie.
I thought he was going to say, the big difference between me and you, Joe, is you like decaf coffee and I like regular. So, I mean, I was always going to have a good time. He was his best performance. That was a bad joke. It was his best performance by far. I mean, he really looked energetic. He was there. He made his joke. I wrote the damn bill again, but he kind of said it in a way like, I can't say this too many times. He did say he would meet with the Taliban. He's, you got to meet with the Taliban. You know, and I understand that might not be
And he called out Joe Biden. I mean, that was a call out. You know, I didn't vote for the Iraq war. He did. I didn't vote for the Gulf War. You know, like he's I see him as the compassionate, humanitarian, sweet candidate, and I see Tulsi as like the one that's like boxing, like boom, boom, here, Bernie, I'm here. I'm just gonna take all these people down. And that I loved seeing that, and I saw a little bit of the Tulsi in him, like with the and our endless wars and all of that. And I liked it when Tulsi was echoing something similar by talking to our adversaries as well as our allies, and that sort of thing. They did it. They weren't saying the same thing. They weren't like riffing off each other, but they were saying similar things in different times, so to speak.